So we shall continue once again that we have seen how a nuclear reaction, that is nuclear fission reaction, that takes place. According to definition, we have seen that when a super heavy nucleus that breaks down into two fragments of average mass is known as nuclear fission reaction, or in brief, one can remember that nuclear fission reactions are those in which a heavy nucleus that breaks down into two lighter nuclei with the ejection of 3 neutrons and huge amount of energy that is released. That is known as a nuclear fission reaction, where you must by heart this series, that uranium-235-92 nucleus plus a neutron gives barium 56-141 plus krypton 36-92 plus 3 neutrons plus 200 milli-electron volt energy is evolved. During this course, the three neutrons which are ejected are known as the secondary neutrons, and the energy thus released is known as the atomic energy or nuclear energy. The secondary neutrons, the peculiarity of this reaction is that the secondary neutrons which are ejected during this nuclear fission reaction, those can act as the reactants for the succeeding reactions, and this reaction continues. That means these neutrons, they again capture the uranium-235-92 nucleus, and the reaction that continues, this reaction is known as an uncontrolled chain reaction or simply chain reaction. Now, how the fission products have been produced by the capture of neutrons, that we have studied with the help of the reaction, with the help of a model that is known as a liquid drop model. I would like to show you the formation of the liquid drop model with the help of this. Just see here how the liquid drop model can be assumed. Here, this is a liquid drop model that I would like to show you here. This is a figure of liquid drop. Here, this is a first part that is shown with the help of a water droplet. Because of surface tension, it becomes, initially it was spherical in shape, but when the pressure is applied, the shape is somewhat ellipsoid and two spheres have been formed, and by applying more pressure, the two droplets have been produced. Similarly, when a slow moving neutron, when it is bombarded with a uranium-235-92 nucleus, initially before bombardment by this neutron, it was spherical in shape, but after bombardment, that is when the fission reaction is in progress, it changes its shape, and the spherical shape that becomes ellipsoid, and that ellipsoid shape changes into dumbbell shaped, and by applying more pressure, that means when the reaction is in progress, that is converted into two fragments. One is a barium, another is a krypton. So this is how the reaction that may be shown. Now, how the uncontrolled chain reaction that can be shown, that you have to show in your notebook also. It is very interesting to study, because when the secondary neutrons, when they bombard with another atom of uranium-235-92 nucleus, then the reaction again propagates, which is known as a self-propagated reaction. So here, if a separate question has been asked on the uncontrolled chain reaction, this is an uncontrolled, you have to write the heading, the uncontrolled chain reaction. How the uncontrolled chain reaction that takes place, you have to draw this diagram. It is very interesting to study this diagram. Initially, we have taken the neutrons as the projectiles, and the uranium-235-92 nucleus as the target nucleus. As we know, when it is bombarded, uranium, when it is bombarded, first of all, the fragments, those are obtained like this. You have to show this in the form of spheres. Now, what is the next? Huge amount of energy is released. This is known as atomic energy or nuclear energy. And during this course, again, 3 neutrons are ejected. First neutron, second neutron, and third neutron. This is a first reaction. So this is first neutron, second neutron, and third neutron, which are known as a secondary neutrons. Now, as per our definition, these neutrons thus obtained after fission products, those can act as a reactants for the succeeding reaction. That means they again unite or they again bombard with another atom of uranium. For example, this neutron, uranium-235-92 nucleus, when it bombarded with this uranium-235-92 nucleus, then again the energy is released. 2 fragments have been obtained. One is a barium, another is a krypton. I think you are writing side by side with me also. This is barium 56, 141. And here 3 neutrons are ejected like this. These are the 3 neutrons like this. And here this neutron again bombarded with another atom of uranium-235-92 nucleus like this. The energy that is released, as we know, 2 fission products have been obtained. We are familiar with these fission products: barium 56, 141, krypton 36, 92, and 3 neutrons are ejected like this. These are known as a secondary neutrons. So this is with the help of the second neutron in the first step of this reaction. And this is a third neutron that is obtained, which is again bombarded with uranium-235-92 nucleus. During this course, energy is released, and the main products of this reaction are barium 56, 141, krypton 36, 92, and again this fission products forms 3 neutrons, which are again known as the secondary neutrons. Now, here I have shown 3 different reactions with the secondary neutrons which are obtained in the first step. Now, these are the neutrons which propagate the succeeding reaction, hence it is known as an uncontrolled chain reaction. That means here again those neutrons which are obtained, these neutrons bombard with uranium-235-92 nucleus here. This is also bombarded with uranium-235-92 nucleus. Same with this uranium-235-92. And again uranium. Here again it is same for this uranium and uranium. So after bombardment of these secondary neutrons with another atom of uranium, the same reaction continues. And hence for this reason, this reaction is known as uncontrolled chain reaction, or this is also known as uncontrolled fission reaction, both meaning the same. So in this case, again, huge amount of energy that is released. So I'm having one video of 1 minute and some seconds. I would like to show you how this uncontrolled reaction takes place. Just see this video that will enable you for better understanding of this nuclear fission reaction. Now, I think this is a video. Let me check. No, this is not that video. I think this might be. So I will show you this video in due course of time. I think it is missing. I will show you this video. Let me try last time. I'll show you this reaction after some time, but there is some glimpses which are shown here. Here, this is nuclear chemistry. It is shown that huge amount of energy that is released. Here, this is a, just now we have seen this reaction that is known as the nuclear fission reaction. Uranium-235 92 nucleus is there. First of all, it captures 1 unit mass of this neutron, which converted into uranium-236, which go on fission products, that is a barium and krypton. Here sometimes the mass that is shown 144 and here 89, but in most of the books it is given as 56 141 and 36 92, and these are known as the secondary neutrons which propagate the reaction. Here I have shown the uncontrolled chain reaction, because these are the secondary neutrons. Those are bombarded with another atom of nucleus, another atom of uranium, which can form krypton and this barium and can produce 3 neutrons. Similarly, this neutron can produce krypton and barium, and this third neutron again forms a krypton and barium nucleus, and this reaction that continues. This is not this. I will take after some time. So this is how we can see the formation of the fission products, what is known as the uncontrolled chain reaction. Based on this concept, we have to see that what is the use of the energy that is released during the course of this nuclear fission reaction. Now, the applications of these nuclear reactions or nuclear fission reactions are for both, that is for benefit of mankind and for also destructive purposes also. Here, if you like to give you some example of the examples which are related to human being, then the word that is used as the energy that is used for peaceful purposes. What is the peaceful purpose? As we know that huge amount of energy that is released, and this energy is utilized in converting this atomic energy into electrical energy. So this use is known as a use for the mankind, that is human being, hence it is known as a peaceful purposes. So in nuclear reactors, a fissionable material is burnt and the energy thus released. With that energy, it is used to generate the electricity in nuclear power plants. For this controlled chain reaction of uranium-235 92 nucleus is used. So you must remember that for the nuclear power plants, which isotope of uranium is used? The correct answer is uranium-235 because it is the only target nucleus which emits huge amount of energy. So except to India, all other countries in the world, they are using these nuclear power plants and they are generating the electricity out of this nuclear energy. Secondly, the energy or this particular reaction may also be used for the destructive purposes also. For example, the reaction that I have given, that is an uncontrolled chain reaction with neutron and uranium-235-92 nucleus. This technique is used in the construction of atom bombs also. So to construct atom bomb, this is used as explosive. The energy thus liberated in nuclear fission of an atom is called, as we know, it is an atomic energy, and the process is called as atomic explosion. So huge amount of energy is released. For this reason, this reaction is also known as the atomic explosion. Now, this is how we have finished the fifth type of nuclear reaction, types of nuclear reaction. Then we are going to proceed with the another sixth type, that is known as, this reaction is known as exactly reverse to that, it is known as nuclear fusion. So you have to write in your notebook, this reaction is also very important. You have to mark this reaction with an asterisk sign in addition to nuclear fission. This is known as the nuclear fusion reaction, or simply nuclear fusion. So how can we define this nuclear fusion? Before defining this nuclear fusion, one should know that this particular nuclear reaction, the definition of which is exactly reverse to that of nuclear fission reaction, where in case of nuclear fission reaction, heavier nucleus that breaks down into two nuclei or two lighter nuclei. But here, in this case, two lighter nuclei, they fuse together, is known as the nuclear fission reaction. So a simple definition of nuclear fusion is that a nuclear reaction in which two or more isotope of lighter elements, here lighter elements which are used, those are basically must be isotopes. Isotopes means different elements of the same, different atoms of the same element. So a nuclear reaction in which two or more isotopes of lighter elements such as hydrogen, deuterium, or helium are used to fuse to form a stable heavier nucleus is called as nuclear fusion reaction. For example, how can we give the example? For example, the first reaction, it is known as DT alpha Ne process. Purposefully, I am using the notations because I would like to, previously I would like to give you the reaction and then we have arrived at the notation. But so as to make you perfect in nucleic chemistry, first of all, I am using the notations. What is this D? D is an isotope of hydrogen containing one proton and one neutron. So this is 1H2, that is a deuteron. Here T stands for another isotope of hydrogen, that is a 1H3, which is known as the tritium. So deuteron, this is tritium, and here the alpha particles are ejected, that means helium-24 nucleus, and N stands for the neutrons, as we know, and here the energy is released. So here, if we want to confirm this reaction, then 3 plus 2 is a 5, 1 plus 1 is a 2. So here, this is a 2 and 5 minus 4 is again 1. So here, how this is how we can show this fusion reaction. That means these are the lighter isotopes of hydrogen which are fused together so as to form a product that is heavier in nature with the ejection of neutrons and the energy thus released. Another reaction that I would like to give you here, suppose for example, if we take two atoms of deuterium, during this reaction, if one proton is ejected plus about 4.0 milli electron volt, this energy if it is released, what is remaining? To arrive at the product of the main reaction, first of all, we have to add up the atomic numbers. 1 plus 1 is 2, minus 1 is 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, minus 1 is 3. So a tritium is obtained. So how can we give the notations? The notation for this hydrogen, this proton is P. For this again P, which gives a tritium T and a proton that is obtained. So PPTP means again this is an example of the nuclear fusion reaction. That is two protons, and these are the products that those are ejected, and these are the ejectiles. Another reaction that can also be given here, that when a deuterium, again a deuterium, if it is used during this course, if a neutron is ejected and about 3.3 milli electron volt, this energy is released. What is remaining product? Now, again to arrive at the product, we have to add up the atomic numbers. 1 plus 1 is 2. So here 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 1 is 3. Atom number 2 is of helium. So this is how we can show the reaction that is known as nuclear fusion reaction. So the nuclear reaction in which two or more isotopes of lighter elements fuse to form a stable heavier isotope or heavier nucleus is called as nuclear fusion reaction. So these reactions are defined or explained in some other words as that. In other words, a nuclear reaction in which two smaller nuclei, these are the smaller nuclei or lighter nuclei, combine to form a larger nucleus is called nuclear fusion reaction. The energy that is present on Earth derived from the sun, which stems from the another kind of nuclear process called nuclear fusion. So these reactions which are shown here, these reactions are taking place at very high temperature, hence are possible near the sun. That means where the temperature is about 5 into 10 raised to 8 Kelvin. Such a elevated temperature is required so as to fuse hydrogen nuclei so as to form a helium nucleus. So in general, the energy released when lighter nuclei are fused together so as to give the elements of higher atomic number. It is believed that the enormous quantity of heat and light that is produced out of these nuclear fusion reaction, and which is possible near the sun and the stars, are derived from the nuclear fusion of 4 hydrogen, which gives a helium nucleus, that is a heavier helium nucleus. So this is how two types of reaction, because here we are going to study under the same title, that is under the nuclear fusion reaction. We have to study one more interesting cycle, but I'm not going to give you this cycle today. That cycle is known as a carbon nitrogen cycle, that I will explain tomorrow, because there is a lot of bombardment, as if the projectiles are bombarded on the target. Such in the similar fashion, I have bombarded your heads with all the nuclear reactions. So it is rather difficult to digest all these reactions, and hence I am going to conclude here. So today we have studied 3 types of important reactions, that is projectile capture particle emission reaction, where the projectiles, when are captured by certain the target nucleus, when it is captured a projectile, so as to obtain or so as to gain the stability, certain particles are ejected. These reactions are known as the projectile capture particle emission reaction. Secondly, we have studied the nuclear fission reaction, where the super heavy nucleus breaks down into two fragments of atomic masses. During this course, what are the peculiarities of nuclear fission reaction? You have to remember that 200 milli electron volt energy is involved, and one more very important peculiarity of this reaction is that 3 neutrons are ejected, which are known as the secondary neutrons. And another peculiarity of this reaction is that these secondary neutrons, they propagate or they collide with another atom of uranium-235-92 nucleus, and the reaction continues. Such a reaction where the products of the main reaction, they act as a reactants for the succeeding reaction. All such reactions are known as uncontrolled chain reaction, or simply chain reaction, or uncontrolled fission reaction. Now, at the end, we have studied the nuclear fusion reaction, where this nuclear reaction where the two lighter isotopes, when are fused together to form a heavier nucleus, is known as nuclear fusion reaction. So the main difference between these two reactions is shown here. I would like to show you one clip, which is an animated clip that I would like to show you here. If it starts, it is okay. Otherwise, I'll show you. Yes. See this video clip. you should remember that the only process by which the electricity generated is the nuclear fission reaction, not fusion reaction. You should remember very carefully because it is a nuclear flow fission reactions. Those the atomic energy thus released that can be used for generating electricity. Because why nuclear fusion reaction, the energy that released, which are not used for generating the electricity. The reason for this, just now I have seen in this animated video, that these nuclear fusion reactions are not possible in laboratory because very high temperature is required so as to fuse the hydrogen nuclei, and hence a high temperature that is possible near the sun, and hence in the animated video a sun that is shown, and because of this the fusion reactions are possible near the sun, and these reactions are not at all possible on Earth. So this is how we have to conclude today's session. That is, we have studied the three important nuclear reactions, where the two nuclear reactions that we have already studied, those are very, very important from the examination point of view. You have to by heart the reactions along with the proper explanation. Otherwise, it is difficult to survive because so many times MCQ based questions or the long questions may be asked on these nuclear reactions. So I would like to conclude here. Thank you very much and do take care of yourself.